Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wait, What? Why? The podcast that ponders the origins of why we do the things that we do. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. In the spirit of football, live concerts, and all the things we have missed for the last year or so, today we're discussing the origins behind tailgating and some cool traditions that go along with it. I'm Nicole Gallagher, your host.
And I'm Dennis Gallagher, the co-host.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Had a productive day. Weather's been good.
That's been beautiful. All right. So, and this is going to be our 5th episode that airs.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel very accomplished.
I don't. I feel like we've been doing this for a very long time, and I can't believe it's only the 5th episode we're recording.
We're underachieving.
It's a lot of work. It was a big learning curve.
I think it's a lot of work for you. Again, you just asked me to show up and try to be fun and funny and have a conversation, but you're doing all the work behiund the scenes, and I see it's a lot of work. So good job.
Yeah,
good
story
job.
of my life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
story
just
of my
kidding.
life.
I'm just kidding. So we're going to talk about tailgating today. So we have tailgated many a times in our experiences.
Every climb and place, I like to say, right? Any place that can bring a grill or, the tailgate for sure. Yeah, no, we do it a bunch. Like you said, concerts, whole 9 yards.
Concerts, sports, right?
Absolutely.
College football games, regular football games.
Yeah, there's a whole business in itself of just like owning the parking areas, around a lot of these facilities, concert venues and things like that. And, you pay that inordinate amount to park, but you do so because you can kind of safely park and open your vehicle up and, and do a little bit of celebrate and put up an easy up, whatever it looks like.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last time we tailgated.
Ooh. Well, we're going to get ready to tailgate again here in a few weeks, I think,
we
right?
are, yes.
Actual tailgate, I can't really say that either. Well, like you said, it's been a long couple of years. I mean, everything has been canceled, and there was no college football for us. We go down to...
That might have been the last time.
It might have been.
From a couple of years ago, right before COVID.
Yeah, UNH fall 2019, I guess it is, right? It's 2019
I think that was the last time we tailgated.
Probably for a lot of people. Although recently, I guess people are starting to go to shows again. We went to a show. We didn't tailgate, but we went to a show recently. And football and different sports, baseball, etc., is back in swing pretty much. So, but we haven't done it in a while. I think it was UNH 2019. So, shame on us. We're doing a podcast. It's supposed to be avid. I mean, I love it, but we haven't done it in a while.
I know.
We have to tailgate.
I know. We do have some stories.
Like Ricky Tech.
That maybe we can share later as we go through it.
Cool.
All right. So, I feel like we're just diving right in today.
Okay. Well, is that bad?
No, that's just fine. It's just not
Let's just get it
usual.
going.
All right. So I'm excited about this because I was super surprised when I was doing the research for this, and I couldn't wait to get you in here to do this with me. So I think you're going to be absolutely floored about the origins behind tailgating. There were a lot of mostly college, and some NFL teams that had claimed to be the trendsetters or, the brain trust around the idea of tailgating. But according to multiple sources, which are always listed in the podcast show notes, I found the origins of tailgating to come from 2 historical events. You ready for this?
I am.
I had to go and check all sorts of sources to see if this was really a thing. And from what I can, it was, and it's the most mind-blowing to me. Here it is. Well, first, I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
When do you think tailgating became a thing?
If I had to guess, in this country, I guess, is that what you're asking?
Yes, in our country.
Well, obviously, tailgating you'd have to have a tailgate. So now horse and buggies, had tailgates and horse-drawn carriages, that kind of thing, whatever. They had tailgates. So I would guess maybe at a farmer's market or a bazaar back in the day, something like that, when they're exchanging goods, and they just, I don't know, brought whatever their version of tailgating is. Is that right?
You're on the right track, and I was surprised because when I was researching it, I totally thought it was going to be some kind of collegiate team, that introduced it, that it had to be like a tailgate, like.
Well, again, in tailgate, you flip down the back of the,
Right.
the horse-drawn carriage, so to speak, or whatever it is, or put a table out. And, I mean, it can be as simple as, sandwiches and, whatever your beverage of choice. So I can see it being back in the day like that. Now, again, like everything else, sport's a big part of my life, our life. So I recognize it the most, with sporting events and, again, music events, things like that, big public gatherings. But that's what that would have been back in the day for folks, I suppose, right?
Yes. Yeah. So you're ready for the first event?
I'm ready. You got my guess.
1861.
Okay.
The Battle of Bull Run.
The Battle of Bull Run.
Yes.
They tailgated at a battle.
Yes. So here we go. The Union supporters showed up from Washington,
D.C.
Yes. Showed up with baskets of food and were actually recorded as shouting, "Go Big Blue."
You're kidding me.
In the opening battle
like it was a sporting event.
So they were the North thought that this was a open and closed case. Like this wasn't going to go. It wasn't going to be a big deal.
Right. They were just going to overwhelm them
and destroy the South, and it would be over.
Yeah. They were
so
wrong.
it was actually
way wrong.
So So they thought it was going to be easy.
The Battle of Bull Run.
They thought it was going to be short and sweet.
No one would have guessed that. Even on Jeopardy, no one would have guessed that. That's nuts. That's crazy.
It is crazy. That's what I said. I had to go and keep looking up different sources to be like, is this really a thing? Especially with the shouting, "Go Big Blue." I thought that was hysterical.
Right. They used to yell that at my football games, and I used to play.
Yeah. So I color it. We went to Attleboro High School in Massachusetts, and we were the Blue Bombardiers, and "Go Big Blue" was at every pep rally and football
for
game
every sport,
and every sport you had.
Yeah.
So thought that was pretty funny.
1861.
1861.
We've been tailgating for a long time.
Bull Run.
If they saw the tailgating we were doing now, it'd be mind blown.
Oh, I know. But I was mind blown that they were doing it. So
Weber grills and
oh yeah. Oh, that's a whole other industry.
Easy ups and
whole other industry.
Love it.
So So obviously the South proved to be much stronger than anyone anticipated. But according to OneSourceHistory.com, senators and congressmen showed up with food and even opera glasses to watch and cheer on the North. So they set up little picnic, if you will, kind of like what you said, sandwiches, beverage of your choice, things like that. However, they needed to flee quickly, and reports had it that one congressman was even taken prisoner by a Confederate soldier.
So the Confederates won the Battle of Bull Run.
Oh, yeah.
That
did not turn
I didn't know
out
that
the
off
way
the top of
they
my head. But I hope, did they have victuals on the other side? When they actually won, did they get to confiscate all the tailgate and stuff? I'd be looking for the ribs. Someone was cooking ribs,
So when they got home, the ones who fled and weren't taken prisoner, the congressmen and senators wrote descriptions of what they witnessed in the battlefield. They sent these letters to President Lincoln, and it was said that it was at this time that he realized that this wasn't going to be an easy war, as easily won as they thought it would be. So they had to do some re-strategizing on there.
Get rid of the tailgaters and get serious about things.
Yeah, so I don't think there was any tailgating at the rest of the battles of the Civil War. Let's just put it that way.
The tailgaters were horrified, right?
Yes. Yeah, were chased down and carriages were turned, and there's artistic renditions of what they thought it might be like. So it was kind of interesting. But I was blown away by that one.
That was kind of a nuts story.
That was the first historical event, 1861, Battle of Bull Run. The second historic event was in 1866.
5 years later.
And this goes along more with, I think, what you were thinking. So this was a man named Charles Goodnight, who was a Texas rancher. Remember you said a farmer's or a bazaar or something like that?
Yeah.
He was a Texas rancher, and he realized that cowboys could use a rolling food cart. So he transformed an old U.S. Army Studebaker into the first chuck wagon.
Almost like a food truck, really.
Yes, a food truck. And he was carrying supplies to all different, cowboys.
He's selling the cowboys burgers and dogs, right?
Yep.
Cooking up racks of ribs in his food truck.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are the two historical events that I could.
The Battle of Bull Run, I would never have guessed.
No.
But some sort of horse exchange or again bazaar or agricultural affair or fair or something like that. That would have been in my guess. So the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was close.
I like the Battle of Bull Run. I can just
I think that's
picture like
fascinating.
people just showing up with like their sandwiches or like their cheese and bread and some
and
wine.
probably such provincial people, like you said,
Yes.
senators and
Like, it
everything else,
wasn't,
And, yeah, they're showing up to watch the one-sided victory and eat a sandwich, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, they're running the other direction.
The other thing I found, which I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I can see it happening in my mind, but this would be even much later, or should I say much earlier than the Battle of Bull Run. There were some sources that said that Julius Caesar may have been history's first recorded tailgater.
Huh.
So, and this makes sense. So the background from this says that the Romans were good at a lot of things: building monuments, conquering distant lands, political intrigue, and knowing how to throw a really awesome party.
Soiree.
Toga parties.
Yeah, toga parties.
Right? So some give credit to Caesar for being the first to tailgate right at the back of his chariot.
Yep, so there you go. Probably had a tailgate.
Yeah.
You just flipped that into the back of the tailgate, right off the chariot.
After a crazy chariot race, the leader opened the Colosseum, inviting people in it to enjoy food, drink, and various types of entertainment.
Really?
So wine, wild fowl, and fights to the death might have been a bit more of the standard fare at these early get-togethers than it is today, but the spirit of the event is quite similar, leading to some giving Caesar credit for getting the tailgating ball rolling.
So Julius Caesar doesn't get enough credit. He has to steal the tailgating thing as well. I mean, it was probably some underling. It probably wasn't even Caesar. Some underling was like, "Hey, Julius, let's
I don't think
drop the
any
tailgate."
underling ever said that,
You
ever.
don't think so?
Hey, Julius.
Did they end up underneath the chariot if they
Julius
did?
would have killed him.
Probably. Still don't. I'm not convinced on that one. That's a tough one.
I don't know. I see it like, hey, we're all hanging out. We're all rich. We just watched this really awesome fight. I'm half
gladiator
in the
fight,
bag.
yeah.
Let's have everyone come in and join us in some
Serve
food
sausages and
drink.
onions. All right, get the sausage cock going.
That's right. Join me in some
I don't know
ale.
about that. I want to give it to the Texas Rancher.
Yeah, so there were a lot of claims, like I said. Some other, say, like Yale claims to have started tailgating.
Yale's a very old school.
Yeah, University of Kentucky
Not as old.
lays claim to creating tailgating.
Although I'm sure they tailgate fine in Kentucky, University of Kentucky. I guarantee they have some good tailgates.
One fun fact I found was that there is someone, and again, I'm not saying this is 100% accurate, just some fun facts I found while surfing the internet, Googling, if you will.
Using the Google machine.
Yeah, which I use for everything.
Yes, the whole world uses for everything.
I promise that my sources are not just google.com. The most practiced tailgater in the nation is superfan Joe Kahn. Have you ever heard of him?
I have not.
Me either. So he sometimes is called the commish, and it says that Kahn has visited every NFL stadium, 125 college stadiums, 9 NASCAR tracks during his 15 years of tailgating across the nation.
That is extensive. Holy cow. He does win.
Yeah. In 1966, Kahn sold his business, the Louisiana School of Cooking, and took to the road to promote tailgating, serving up over 325 pots of his famous jambalaya as he enjoyed over 800 different tailgating parties.
That's fantastic.
So he literally sold his business and then just went to tailgates to cook for the people there.
So it's noble and fun,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a win. I haven't seen jambalaya at any about tailgating events. It would have been nice.
No, but I will say I don't know what Super Bowl it was. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was 1996 when we lost to the Green Bay Packers.
So same
It was
one.
in New Orleans, and Desmond Howard. Thank you, Desmond, for running the ball back like 150 yards on a kickoff return and ruining our dreams. But yeah, I remember that. Oh, like a scab. Yeah, like yesterday.
I just know that one. I don't know if that was the game. My stepfather started cooking jambalaya.
Oh, it was,
during
yeah.
Super
Yeah, that was the
Bowl
big
events.
hoopla.
Okay.
So there was 100 things. There was a bunch of different themes that year. It was because, of course, the Patriots weren't expected to. I'm a Patriots fan. Patriots weren't expected to advance that year, and a lot of craziness went on. Doug Flutie was on the team, and Steve Grogan, and just, anyways, Miami always beat the Patriots. That's the Dan Marino years, and same thing. Dan Marino was he was a unbelievable football player, and he killed us. And so it was Squish the Fish was the big mantra leading into the Miami game, and we won.
Yes.
So there had to be another mantra, so it was jambalaya. And, I'm mixing up Super Bowls, actually. I'm mixing up Super Bowls.
I feel like...
Yeah, I am. I'm totally off base. That was 10 years earlier with...
Squish the Fish.
Yep, with Raymond Berry, Squish the Fish, you're right. So jambalaya just, I guess, was that mantra for that year. We were going down to New Orleans, and they wanted to keep it rolling. That's what that was. Yeah, because Chicago crushed us the other year we were talking about.
So that just happened to be the same year then that... I almost said...
So is it 96 when he started?
96 when he sold his business and started
I
selling
wonder
his
if
jambalaya.
I bet he went to that Super Bowl and that kind of thing, or he must have specialized in jambalaya anyway somehow.
Well, Louisiana School of Cooking.
Right.
He sold, so
yep.
I would imagine that's kind
definitely
of
some crawfish and
jambalaya
kind of stuff going on, right? Sorry about that. I was totally off. 10 years off in our 2 Super Bowls. Well, we lost 2 bad ones before we actually figured it out and started to win some. So I'm just mixing the 2 bad ones up.
I don't think I've ever had jambalaya.
I've had
even going back to that.
Your parents, Frank's or your mom's, that had jambalaya there.
I think I was like a little
skeeved.
Yeah.
And your grandmother used to make it too, didn't she? Used to whoop it up
Yeah.
also? And she was even doing the jambalaya in the early 2000s when we started kind of going back
Yes.
to the Super Bowls when Tommy Touchdown came to town and saved the day. But yeah, she was big on the jambalaya also. That's cool. So that guy I cannot believe he's been to that many events and games and stuff like that. So
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's
I've
a
been
full-time job and then some.
A lot of concerts and a lot of sporting events, but I can't say that I tailgated at every single one of them.
No, of course not. No. Like
or
I said,
even that I've been to that many.
Sure. No. Who can say that? That's why he wins. What's his name again?
Joe Kahn.
Joe Kahn. Joe Kahn, you win.
I know.
You
I
win.
keep
Party
thinking
on.
Jimmy Kahn, but that's...
And I bet his jambalaya is dynamite too.
He's got to still be around. Maybe we'll have to look for him, see if we can find something. All right, so another fun fact. 30% of tailgaters don't even attend the game. And then there's a quote here from Homer Simpson.
Okay. What's Homer say?
He says, "We're not here for the game." I wish I could do a Homer Simpson voice.
Yeah,
Can you?
No way, not even close.
"We're not here for the game. The game is nothing. The game is crap. The game makes me sick. The real reason we Americans put up with sports is for this. Behold the tailgate party, the pinnacle of human achievement."
That's funny. Good old Homer Simpson with that profound statement. Actually, I'm surprised that it's 30%, and I wonder what that kind of covers that don't go into the events because, again, back in the day, I'll date myself, we used to go and just go into the parking lots, and just tailgate for the game and didn't even have tickets. Well, now when you go into most parking lots, and we had some primitive dirt parking lots back in the day, but whatever, any parking lot, they want to make sure everyone has a ticket now. They make you show your tickets in the vehicles. Certainly a Gillette Stadium the last few times we've been there. Because once, again, in the early 2000s, my brothers, my father's friend, my, of course, wife, my lovely wife, we all went and spent all 3 meals. We were there for all 3 meals. We got there, and we didn't have tickets.
Nope.
None of us had tickets. We just paid our money to get into the parking lot, and we made, eggs and breakfast food in the morning and lunch. And
we had a big TV hooked
huge
up.
TV in the back of, my dad's Ford Explorer at the time, and we stayed out there. It was wintertime too.
It was freezing.
It was freezing cold. It was January. I think we played. I think we were playing Buffalo. We were playing Buffalo at the end of the season. Yeah. And but we had a heck of a time.
It was.
But of course, we had to bring designated drivers because alcohol was involved, and they try to curtail that now.
Was that the first game where we faced Drew Bledsoe?
No, I don't think so. It was Lawyer Malloy. We had Lawyer Malloy was one of our co-captains, defensive captain, and we cut him right before the beginning of the season. And he went to Buffalo immediately. And week 1, we faced them. So we faced Lawyer Malloy and his brand new team with all the sour grapes week 1, and they crushed us. And then it was, again, one of those years where we weren't expected to really do anything. But by the end of the year, we had it rolling. And we crushed them. I believe it was 31-0 in the final. It was an ironic payback. But, yeah, we stayed that whole day. It was a long day. I remember stopping and buying coffees. Buying coffees, leaving there. It was dark, and it was like, holy cow.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. But good food. We brought a lot of good food and plenty to drink and stay hydrated and plenty of warm clothes. And, we had a blast.
If I remember correctly, we were the only ones left when the game started. Everyone went in until after the game.
I want to say there were a handful of other people that didn't go in also. But we didn't really leave our vehicle, probably except for to go to the bathroom because, again, we had the TV. So we were still watching. Yeah, we were crazy, young and crazy. But I don't think they do that as much now. I think you have to have tickets to events for the most part. They've kind of wised up on that. They don't necessarily want people just staying the whole day in the parking lot and drinking and whatever, making trash. But I'm not sure about concerts and things like that. They don't really check your tickets at concerts, but they certainly do at Gillette.
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like country concerts tend to have more of a tailgating presence. Is that wrong?
I don't know. I mean, we go
I guess I haven't been to
concerts.
like a actual rock concert in a long time. I mean, I've been to like
I think there's more tailgating.
Panic at the Disco and things like that, but we took the train in, so I don't remember tailgating. Well, that's
got to do with the venue.
Yeah.
You went into the Boston Garden. You don't tailgate in the North End,
Right.
in North Station. But yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, we attend a fair amount of country concerts in particular, and there's definitely a lot of tailgating. But I think football, there's a ton of tailgating. I mean, it's not big everywhere. I remember I went to Pittsburgh years ago to see a Patriots play down in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, and maybe it was where we were parked, and there's a new stadium since then. But there was almost no tailgating. I was kind of let down. It was like, I don't know, people hung around their cars a little bit, but it certainly was the scene that we see at Gillette. Gillette Stadium, there are flagpoles, 60 feet in the air, flagpoles, and easy ups as far as the eye can see, and people are serving oysters and crab and lobster, and it's nuts.
Even at the smaller venues, like the open air venues, like Meadowbrook or whatever.
Yeah, all regional things to us, forgive us. But where we see a lot of our shows,
where it's like the half, outside, you can get grass seats or lawn seats or whatever.
But there's definitely a lot of tailgating in most of those venues. So. Yeah. But, you can do it again. Like I said, anything from, simple sandwiches to, I mean, we've gone and, cooked filet mignon and had, crab on the side, and we do all that stuff. So we really get into it. We're really passionate about it.
We like to eat.
Yeah, well, we like to eat. And, and again, if you're going to go in for a long day and, food tends to be very expensive inside a lot of venues. So sometimes it just makes sense. You're getting together with a bunch of friends and, you may end up running over and getting a sausage inside, but it's not because you didn't eat. We have food available.
Oh, there was something too. I
More
don't
fun
know
facts?
that there were. Well, it was like tailgating, foods based on regions.
I was going to say that's regional too. I would think
that right now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of jambalaya up in Foxborough, but no. I would think so.
I'm sure at my mother's house.
Yeah. And I know some teams in particular just really pride themselves in it, like the Buffalo Bills. What do they call themselves? The Bills Mafia or something like that. And of course, they're way up there in freezing cold Buffalo too, so they're going to be a little crazier than average to decide to make that your home, as tough as that is. And they jump through tables and all types of nut stuff goes on.
So, what football team has the holds the record for braving the coldest weather to support their team?
Green Bay Packers.
You betcha.
Yeah, well, it's very cold in Green Bay as well. And they're huge tailgaters there as well.
Yes, and so a little fun fact about that said Wisconsin winters are notoriously brutal, but that doesn't keep these super fans from setting up shop in parking lots. In 1967, fans braved a wind chill of 48 degrees below zero to see the Packers defeat the Cowboys in what would become known as the
Ice Bowl.
Nice.
Yeah.
You amaze me with your super bizarre, random sports facts.
If it's useless knowledge relating to sports, I've soaked it up somewhere.
Den's calling should have been a sports announcer, and I don't know why he hasn't done that, but
because I'm way too profane and involved. That's why.
He holds the record for the most. I don't want to say useless because it's coming in very handy right now.
You're taking advantage of it now, right? After a lifetime of making fun of me.
But sports facts, it just blows my mind.
Sorry about that. That's a pretty famous one, too. That's kind of an underhanded pitch, really.
It's another quirky thing that you have. I don't remember anything, so there you go. I have the opposite problem.
You're great at research.
All right, another average tailgater spends more. I'll give you a more than less than. I'm hiding my notes so we can't see. Spends more than how much money per year on food for tailgating?
Oh, again, and that's a tough one.
Not counting booze.
Ticket holders.
Not counting booze.
For a year?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, honey. I don't know how to answer
that.
What do we spend in a year on tailgating?
Say 6 to 10 tailgates.
Oh, well, I would figure you're spending, not including parking, I'm assuming.
Just food.
Just on food, okay. So you probably got $50 to $100 worth of food if it's just food. I'll go $50. I don't know, $350, $400 a year.
Well, more than 500.
More
But
than
you were
500.
close. If you did the math for 6 to 10, you would have been right there at 500 if you said $50.
500.
Yeah.
So that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Again, it depends what you're bringing. If you're bringing sandwiches, it's a lot less than that. If you're breaking out the cracked crab and the big T-bones and
Depends on if
porterhouses.
you're going with Bubba Burgers or like
or some
filet.
gourmet. Yes. Yes. So that's kind of a loaded question. And I don't know if that's a loaded question.
That's okay. What?
Well, I was going to say we actually have some friends that they go to polo. I have no experience going to polo, but they attend polo matches, and they kind of do a version of tailgating there. I mean, I think all the people line up their easy ups, and there's some drop tailgate, so it's definitely a version of that. But I would imagine they have some higher cuisine than just deep fryers of chicken
like
wings.
fancy pigs and blankets.
Fancy pigs
Cameron
and
has a
blankets,
name for that. It's called sauce Suzanne and croûte.
Sauce Suzanne and croûte.
Yes,
Yes.
she worked at a
Fancy kind of catering.
Yeah,
high-end
she
kitchen.
catered at weddings, and that's what she called them, fancy pigs in a blanket. But it's not actually little mini wieners. It's like sausage and
Right.
onions and peppers and
They've
like this
stepped it up a bit in order to earn the new name.
puff pastry kind of thing.
Pastry.
All right, let me see.
What else you got?
Well, I still have some fun facts.
Well, make sure they're fun.
Well, stop looking. I can't
I
do
can't read
trivia
from the
if you
side.
look.
I can't read from the side. I can barely see that screen.
In 2000, well, that's too old. 2006. I'm not even going to use that.
Too old.
95% of tailgaters prepare their food at the stadium, which we always did.
Yeah, I believe that. Easy to bring the raw ingredients, cool, and just cook them.
Yes.
Or
Obviously.
pasta salad or whatever.
Oh, ESPN ranked LSU as the best place to tailgate for college games.
Huh. Louisiana State University. I get that.
Other ones that were held in high regard for tailgating fun is Ole Miss, Tennessee, Washington, and Penn State.
Honorable mention to those schools.
Yes. Oh, this fun fact goes in with what we had, too. Many fans watched the game from the parking lot with the help of modern technologies.
Yep.
So, and again, we just kind of talked about this, but I think you're right that a lot of places won't allow you to tailgate now without a ticket to the event, just because, you need spots for people who have
X
tickets.
amount of spots for, I mean, not everybody comes in with, 4 ticket holders in one vehicle. A lot of people, they come in ones and twos for sure.
But yeah,
Probably
they were
twos
saying
more than
like
ones.
a number, like why sit in an uncomfortable bleacher and blah, 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 when you can have like the ambiance of it and still,
I know,
which is what we did.
Some people bring campers right in. You can pay a day rate for a camper. You can bring your RV. I think it has to be an RV. I don't think it can be a tow behind, but they have spots set aside where you can bring your RVs right in. I know NASCAR actually is huge.
I
with
was
tailgating.
just
I was going to say
thinking that, yes.
And we actually have owned one camper that the roof was designed to be, used with like lawn chairs and kind of stuff and watch it like a race kind of setting, whether it's a motorcycle race or a NASCAR race. Had kind of a beefed up roof with a big ladder that went up to it and stuff, and so that's pretty common too.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
We've never done that, but those are huge.
Yeah.
I think those are like really big tailgating.
Oh yeah,
events.
they put them all in the middle in like this
Yes.
huge area, and I mean I'm kind of speculating. I'm going on what I've been told, but yeah, that's huge in NASCAR. So I'm surprised. Did that come up as any of your research?
It didn't.
Because they have like 100,000 fans at NASCAR races.
I know,
Like, it's huge
and they all
capacities.
it's like multiple days, so even more reason like it's a bigger party.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why
well-
it didn't come up, because it wasn't just a single event. It's like event that lasts over time.
Yeah, the whole weekend. The races
Right.
last over the whole weekend. Main events one day. And again, I don't know how every racetrack is, but here in New Hampshire, we have a Loudon International Speedway, and I believe, because again, I've never been, but you bring beer in. So they actually show up with giant coolers full of not just their food, all their beer they can bring right into the race, into their seats. So, I think it's a completely different ball game.
We should try it.
I'm not a big racing fan.
It's so
my
loud.
plate
It's
is
so
full.
loud.
That's not why. Plate is full with just all the other sports and things that I'm interested in. So I can only do so much as so many hours in the day. But NASCAR, I believe, are huge tailgaters, and like you say, they land RVs and campers for the whole weekend. So it's a big deal.
All right. So,
And I bet you they eat pretty good too.
oh, I bet you they do.
I bet that place smells amazing
Yeah.
when the girls are all going.
I'm starting to get hungry.
I was just going to say, can you picture that? Because you'll have to walk to the bathroom, in the parking lot tailgating, and you walk by all these different smells. And, like I said, someone's cooking ribs. And, God, nowadays they'd be bringing smokers and everything else. And turkey fryers, and so it's a celebration for sure. It's a celebration.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's grown a lot since they showed up to watch the Union get their butts beat by the Confederates on that unfortunate day, right?
Right.
Yes.
All right. So in today's podcast, we learned about the origins, right? First Battle of Bull Run, which I find to believe the most shocking, but I did find numerous references to back it up, so I think it's pretty legit.
1861, senators and congressmen,
yes.
first tailgaters.
And then also the first chuck wagon. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah,
St. Charles Goodnight,
right.
which is a great name.
Right.
I don't know why it just took me a second to come up with that. But also the first chuck wagon coming from him. And then a kind of a bunch of fun facts. So if you have a story that you would like to share, a tailgating story, it doesn't necessarily have to be, the history behind it, but if you went to a cool event and have a cool story to share about your tailgating experience, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at waitwhatpie@gmail.com. That's all lowercase, all one word. And other than that, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us today.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes, this month, so this is the first episode that will be airing in the beginning of November. I have a special episode with one of my daughters, Megan is going to be the host, and that's going to air right before Thanksgiving. She's diving into the history of Thanksgiving, and I'm hoping also to have a bonus episode with some of our listener stories. So please make sure to share your, again, tailgating adventures, Thanksgiving traditions, or any other stories. We'd love to hear from you at waitwhatwhypod@gmail.com.
Yeah, and Megan's pretty awesome, so be sure to tune into that one too. She's quite the gal.
Yeah, and she was like, "What? Cameron did a bonus episode? I need to do an episode." So
yeah, we're not competitive here in the Gallagher family at all. Not at all.
So other than that, we'd also like to give a big shout out to Francis for our podcast artwork. And you can please check out our website and subscribe, and tell a friend, leave a review. It will really help us so much, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.